everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel, and I am back for one last time with Tears of a Mermaid. If you remember last time, I had first chose the option here where Aurielle gets to either refuse or accept Orpheus's offer to do whatever it takes basically to make sure that Jory and the kids of the neighborhood are safe. And Orpheus says that it must be that she kills Reverend Hale. And there's like a plot, an evil plot going on there. And I chose the accept the offer choice last time because I was very curious. I did not think that would lead to the good ending. So this time we're going to refuse to help and see what are the consequences of refusing to help from Hecate or Orpheus's side of things, and then see how it all turns out with Aurielle and Jory and everyone. So let's just get into it. We're going to refuse to help.
No way. I want no part of this scheme. His eyes widened and he backed away.
Really? Aurielle? You'd rather marry the Reverend? Are you hoping to control him? To use your power to help your friends? A noble attempt, but he has no reason to listen.
I'm not killing anyone. Even if the Reverend is a monster, murder is not the way to go about saving everyone.
That's right. I will say, I don't know if I'm pretty sure I said it in the last route, but I, again, only chose to go. My choosing of the accepting to help or accepting the offer last time was more about a curiosity that it would lead to the bad end, not reflecting my personal preference. Though, again, these two choices lead to completely different ends, so I really wanted to make sure that I explored them. Anyways.
Even if the Reverend is a monster, murder is not the way to go about saving everyone. His eyes narrowed and his face tensed.
It appears I was mistaken. We had a deal, did we not?
And I plan on keeping my promise. I just don't want to kill anyone.
Unfortunately, Aurielle, you don't have a choice. The terms of our agreement were finalized the moment our blood pact was sealed. If the rules aren't followed, I'm afraid there will be consequences.
I gritted my teeth. It was much too late for regrets. I should have known better than to put my faith in a stranger. But my mistake didn't mean I couldn't fight back. How would people react if you punished me, Orpheus? All I would need to say is that an incubus came for me.
Perhaps, but with my shape-shifting, I could look like anyone, including Jory.
Word would get out if you were caught, Orpheus. I wonder, is Mother fond of failure?
Is that a challenge?
I don't want it to be, but I'm not killing the Reverend. I'll continue helping the children just like you asked. I'll even keep quiet if you murder him yourself. But if you endanger me or anyone else, I'll tell the Reverend everything. I may die, but I'll take you and your plans with me.
That's right, fight back. Is that so?
I nodded fiercely.
Aurielle, please listen to me. Mother doesn't give these orders out of spite alone. She has very good reasons to want this man slain. I can understand why you're hesitating. You're upset, you feel cornered, and you don't want to hurt anyone.
She doesn't. Why would she?
But remember what's at stake. It's not just about you, but Jory and...
I don't need to murder someone to help the children!
That's right.
You don't. But it could be unfortunate for them if you don't act swiftly. Aurielle, I wouldn't be channeling grace if I was aiding some nefarious scheme. I'm not ordering you. I'm asking you to comply with your oath. Trust me, you don't want to go against Mother's plan.
Because she'll smite me?
Because horrible things will happen to everyone.
He says, baring his teeth.
So you're holding my friends hostage then?
If that's what it takes.
You evil. Damn you.
What did you expect, girl? You can't break a pact once it's signed. If I can put you on a pedestal, I could most certainly tear you down.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Huh. So what exactly is going to happen then? Like, how will we resolve this? Oop, sorry, microphone. I'm hitting it.
Despite his coldness, I couldn't see any sign of malice aside from a stern gaze. His fists weren't clenched, his veins didn't bulge, and his face was hardly tense. Part of me wondered if he was even angry. He appeared sad more than anything. But I imagine all devils were good at hiding emotions.
I encourage you to rethink your little rebellion, because there are fates worse than death. And we fiends specialize in inflicting them. I don't want to have to go that far. So I'll give you some respite to regain your common sense. But if you cross me, girl, I promise you, everyone will pay.
You're horrible. You're a horrible man.
Devil, Aurielle. You can only blame yourself for thinking I was any different.
You claim to care for the children, but now you're using them as hostages.
Don't worry about the children. Mothers succubi make excellent mothers. And children are so impressionable, don't you agree? Morning draws near. We'll speak later. Until next time.
No.
Oh. Okay, so again, we were in the dream state talking to Orpheus, and now we are back alive. Not alive, conscious. Also, have these scratches on the door always been here? That looks concerning. But I don't know if that was already like the state of like, because we see other tears and things in like, obviously this is the slums, right? Or what word is being used here? I'm getting my terminology mixed with other worlds, but it's not. It's the like impoverished area. Melody.
I awoke standing, covered in sweat and breathing heavily. Jory has his hands on my shoulders. I felt so secure within his grasp. Heck, this was the most safe I had ever felt in my entire life.
Are you all right?
Oh, no, I'm not all right, Jory. I buried my face in his chest, dousing his shirt with tears. He grimaced, but took hold of me all the same. I made a big mistake, Jory. I've been lying to you this entire time.
Lying? About what, Melody?
That's not even my real name. We didn't meet on the beach. We met in the ocean. You saved me from a shark and I rescued you from sinking.
Aurielle?
Yes, Jory. I was that Meropian. At that point, I spilled everything to him. About what happened with Desiree, the deal with Orpheus, the Reverend's proposal, and the assassination plot. My secrecy fell along with my tears. I knew that telling him all of this information wouldn't end well, but I couldn't help myself. He deserved to know that his life and the lives of the children were in danger. Parents gathered around us, their faces shifting from concerned to appalled as I brought up Orpheus' name and talked about his true nature. Children that came out were immediately hustled back into their homes. Everyone's scorn felt like a heavy burden upon me. But Jory remained unfazed by my words. He just held me, listening.
So this Orpheus guy, the devil, he came to you when you were at your worst?
Yes. My father would have killed me if he found me after I had harmed my sister.
Considering that Meropians aren't like us, were you even aware of what devils were, or how they operated?
I only knew of the sea witches, but they don't act much different. I have no excuse.
And your family didn't help much, did they?
They didn't help at all. Jory broke the embrace. I looked up to see his smile. His warm expression lifted my spirits.
Thank you for telling me everything, Aurielle. It's good to see you again.
Why are you smiling? You should be angry with me. I put all of us in danger.
Nonsense. It would have been much easier for you to heed the fiend's demand. Yeah. Cut to part 3 of my playthrough. That was a time. You have good reason to want to stop the Reverend. He's a terrifying man. Us humans aren't much different. Many people would have obeyed in your shoes, and I wouldn't have blamed them. You're strong, Aurielle. No matter
how many times I wiped my tears, the tears kept coming. But now they were happy tears. I didn't deserve any praise. I should have been burned for my sins instead. I stood by my first impression. Jory was the nicest person I had ever met.
He is. Now then, everyone, who wants to help me come up with a plan?
No one volunteered. They only scowled. You're too soft, Jory. Have you any idea what will happen to us if the Reverend finds out she worked with the devil? They'll have us all burned. You have to think of the children. The kids will get roped into this mess just for knowing this witch. You have to turn her into the guard. It's the only way.
I'm disappointed. I thought we were better than this.
You still have our respect, but we're not helping her. We can't. We have our families to think about.
Very well, I understand.
Jory, you're still wounded. What are you planning to do?
I have no idea, but I'll figure it out.
No, you're hurt. I can handle my problems on my own.
Aurielle, I'd sooner give my life than watch a friend walk into hell. Aw. You're not stopping me, no matter how much you might scream at me.
I bit my lip, giggling. Hey, last night was different.
Could have fooled me. You scared me. I genuinely feared for my life.
Oh, really? This feeble woman was all it took for a giant like you to feel afraid.
I fought many people, but it's always the smaller ones you need to watch out for.
Whatever. But
Jory, not them, also, like, their cute little flirty banter going on. What's the plan, guys? I mean, good. I love to see that, because, look at them being all cute, but what's the plan? I'm a little worried. I'm a little stressed.
But Jory, what are we going to do? I'm surprised Orpheus hasn't punished me yet, and he will for certain if I don't agree to his plan.
I won't allow it, as my milord sentinel and your friend. Do you know what this punishment will be?
Everyone will suffer. That's all I know.
And I'm not in the best position myself. However, I only need to get close to him once.
Jory, I don't want you.
I have to, and I will, for you and my lord's sake. We must get you as far away from we must get you as far away from here as possible.
But he knows where I am.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about... Oh no. What?
What's wrong?
Shh. Reverend Hale's back. Time to do a southern accent. I don't know why I gave him a southern voice. I don't even know if this is a southern accent. If it will sound southern accented, rather. Yes, Jory. What troubles you? Sorry, I'm laughing because it's like I heard the voice actor and I'm just like, yeah, that is not exactly what's happening here, but here we are. Hello, Reverend.
I gasped and my blood froze. How long had the Reverend been there? How much had he heard? His guards had us outnumbered, and I couldn't walk. Jory towered over them, but he was injured, and even if he had been at his best, There was no way he could fight that many people all by himself.
So you thought I'd leave a Meropian unsupervised, hmm? My lord, please. Shut it, brute. I wasn't talking to you. No, I was conversing with that heretic on your arm.
Heretic?
Yes, fish brain. I don't know how to say that. Yes, fish brain is what we call all the morons who dabble with devils. I had a feeling you and that incubus were allied, but I cannot believe he actually tricked a Meropian into becoming human. Your foolishness is Your foolishness is legendary. Now, my weapon, I want her apprehended. I want this wish burned before she conjures any more allies. Do you have stones in your ears? I said to arrest her. I will not.
We could all hear the breeze brush past us. Even stoic guards stood with their mouths open. The Reverend was stunned for a moment. He shook his rod angrily with both hands. Jory didn't react. All he did was set me down and shield me.
Excuse me? I said I will not obey. She's innocent. By Yeshua, are you blind or just plain stupid? Meropians do not know about devils or their schemes. She's blameless. She didn't know any better. I don't give a damn if she's blameless. Her patron made an attempt on my life. How daft can you be? She had nothing to do with that incubus attacking you. So you choose to side with a wench over your lord. Do you dare turn your back on Yeshua? All for some bottom feeder that crawled out of the ocean? Ha 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 ha. I don't know what the laugh is. Ha 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 ha. What's so funny? Can you really blame me? Can you really blame me? You wanted to marry that bottom feeder after all. Admit it, she's easy on the eyes.
Both of our mouths fell open. I blushed, and steam was practically blowing out of the Reverend's ears. Jory, I didn't know you could both flatter me and infuriate me at the same time.
It'll probably happen many more times, girl. Restrain these heretics at once. Hell, arrest everyone here. They all may as well be accomplices. Round up everyone, including the children. How terrible are you? If this Archfiend is who I think she is, they're the most suspicious.
But why? They have nothing to do with this situation.
Like I trust the word of an apostate. My lord. We all heard the sound of Jory's fists clenching. I love a speech error there.
It sounded like he was crushing stones and his knuckles popped. Sounds of doors being locked also hit my ears. Good. Now they wouldn't get caught in the crossfire. I just hope they get a chance to run later on.
What are you idiots doing? Apprehend them, or you will all burn with them.
The guards readied their lances, but the ground quaked as Jory's fist struck it. The men cried and fell whilst cracks tore through the ground. You're that strong? How cool. I shivered more than the ground. That fist was the same one that killed a shark in a single blow. I mean, I forgot about that, but like causing those cracks in the floor, that's crazy. I doubt anyone here will dare report what happens. If you wish to flee, I'll let you. As if. I'd rather die in battle. With the spear. One of the guards leapt up and thrust his spear. Jory!
Huh?
The spear did break Jory's skin, but barely. His arm may as well have been armored. Jory wasn't phased, and I wasn't sure if he had even felt anything.
Don't throw your lives away. Huh? I bested a shark with one punch. You are all but insects to me. Please don't fight. You have families that care for you, and you want to take care of them. Why else would anyone serve a tyrant? Urgh. He won't mourn your death, but your wives and children will. You should protect what's dearest to you. I wish I had learned that lesson sooner.
With those words, the men gave each other questioning glances before finally dispersing. All that remained were Jory, me, and the seething Reverend.
Fancy yourself a hero, do you?
The Reverend readied his staff. I'll see you The giant plucked the rod from his hands and plopped it into mine.
It'll help you walk.
Oh, thank you. Thank you?
Have you any idea what you've done? That's a relic from heaven, and you dare... Use your grace.
Jory gave the Reverend a pointed look.
What? You have Yeshua's blood. You don't need a staff to perform miracles. If you perform one, whether it be to harm me or to protect yourself, I'll submit myself into your custody.
Now the Reverend knew true fear. He trembled, his teeth clenched and his body soaked. He looked so pitiful without his rod. More importantly, had Jory known all along that the Reverend relied on that artifact?
Probably. Or started noticing it right away, once he was working for him. Why are you shaking? I won't strike you, I promise. Even a simpleton like me can use grace. Your nephew's abilities dwarf mine, so I'm certain his uncle can do even better. Don't you dare mention my nephew!
The Reverend cupped his hands and rubbed them feverishly. If he couldn't channel grace, then what would happen?
Ugh! Oh, malice, the mana of hatred.
That mana, it's the same as Hecate's. Red mana comes from negative emotions, right?
I see. So you can't wield grace. That's unfortunate.
The Reverend cowered as Jory's form overshadowed his own. The man who exalted himself was suddenly humbled, and the man who had always been humbled was now exalted. The Reverend cried out when Jory grabbed him by the scruff of his neck. He dangled in the air like a child in the grasp of its angry father. But just like Orpheus, I heard no fury in Jory's voice.
Everyone here is a witness. I suppose they're in danger now that they know your secret. Now hold on. We can work something out. What do you want, Jory? For her to be spared? For everyone's charges to be dropped? You got it. You got it. I don't know how to do that in my southern trying to be southern accent, voice. It's shameful to beg. I need to learn my lesson, right? Clearly, if I'm channeling malice, I've been corrupted. I need to seek atonement. You didn't need to channel malice to learn that lesson, my lord. What do you want me to do?
Better.
That's right, better. Jory dropped the Reverend.
I want you to do better!
Absolutely. Better? At what? Aurielle. I think a walk on the beach will do you some good. We're still practicing, after all.
Good idea.
Wait! Now, if you hold the staff like this, you can... I don't understand what you want. Is it my staff? That'll be enough, right?
I followed his advice and... Wow, I didn't fall. I stood up without, losing my balance. Oh my gosh, Jory, this is perfect.
It'll help you until you can walk without it. I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. Hello? I'm still here. Can I leave?
Let's hurry. There's this noise that's giving me a headache.
Me too. Hey! Okay, so we just leave him. I love the clouds.
With the help of his staff, Jory and I walked to the shore, the place where all this madness had begun. I stared out at the crashing waves. I felt like I had come a long way, even though only a few days had passed. I looked over my shoulder as we continued. No sign or hint of Orpheus. I watched vigilantly for him, but despite my worries, he never appeared. I wished I could relax and cherish our victory over the Reverend.
Okay, you don't need this anymore. Yoink.
Why'd you take that? I need the rod to walk.
You'll never learn how to walk if you keep relying on it. Besides, he's probably going to want the staff back.
So what? He did offer us anything we wanted. That means we can keep the staff.
Maybe, but we should treat him with compassion. Hatred only brings more hatred. Speaking of which, has Orpheus bothered you again?
No, and that's what's concerning me.
Perhaps my solution will appease him. The Reverend won't be making any bold moves anytime soon. I fear for the Reverend. Without me and his wand, he's defenseless. That incubus might kill him before he could redeem himself.
Hecate herself is after him. I doubt she'll give him much time.
Yes, though that archfiend is more merciful than most. Let's hope for the best.
Again, I glanced around. Orpheus's absence left me trembling. After the spiel he had given me last night, I knew he was wicked. Jory called Hecate merciful, but how could she tolerate someone as despicable as the Reverend? Weren't archfiends sadistic? Nothing bad had happened yet, though. Why? Were my actions her will somehow? Please, let everything be okay.
Hey, Aurielle. Do you think you can swim? Without your tail?
I don't know. Honestly, maybe some movement, she would get it, but I don't know either, because, now she has, like, 2 limbs.
Of course I can. I've been doing it all my life. It can't be worse than walking.
Are you sure, girl?
In that case...
I mean, I hope you don't. It's a good time, like swimming.
Hey, what are you doing? Wait, Jory? Jory? No, not in this dress!
Ah, so cold! And in this dress, too. What was this icky sensation? My clothes clung to me like glue. They felt horrible. And my hair was a mess. Wait, my hair's always been a mess.
Jory!
That's the Aurielle I know.
Is that your payback?
You bastard! This water's freezing!
Wait, aren't you used to the cold? I've heard the ocean gets colder the deeper you go.
I told you we were about to migrate, you ass!
Oh,
Lol.
sorry.
He unintentionally was like, she'll be fine. And she is, but she's a little mad.
He wasn't entirely wrong. We handled cold water better than the Terraflits. Amidst my shivering, I smirked. Seeing that dumbfounded look in his eye took away all of my anger. And I had to get back at him.
Come here, Jory.
You're not going to drown me, are you?
No.
As long as you take off your armor.
Right. I don't want to sink again.
Right.
All right, Aurielle, I'm coming.
Woo!
Ah, yeah.
It's cold.
I burst into laughter as he clutched his arms. His shivering form ripples around him.
Too cold for you.
Actually,
No,
Liar.
salt water in my wound.
Oh,
Ow!
that makes more sense.
Oh, no, I forgot.
I can take it,
It's not like you pushed him in.
but we'll get sick if we stay out here too long.
Then let's make the most of it.
we ventured out farther, enjoying the bobbing of the waves. The cold wasn't so bad when you had someone to hold on to. And I, of course, needed Jory's help. I couldn't, Jory's help. I couldn't stop sinking, and my legs hurt the more I kicked. Still, no sign of Orpheus. Maybe we were in the clear. If he really wanted to do something, he would have retaliated by now.
Aurielle, how do you like our world? Well, compared to the sea. I hear it's peaceful down there.
Hardly. I doubt you Terraflits get attacked by sharks very often.
Nope, just other humans.
If I were to describe it with one word, I'd call it lonely.
Huh. Even with all the fish swimming around?
Like they make a difference. They just...
As we continued talking, the water got even colder. I didn't know if it was my nerves or what. I thought back to my fight with Orpheus and his warning. Everything was turning... Oh, why did he get so upset? Everything was turning out perfectly now. The Reverend was seeking redemption, Jory and everyone were free, and I could finally enjoy my time with Jory. So why couldn't I stop fretting?
What did you expect, girl? You can't break a pact once it's signed. If I can put you on a pedestal, I could most certainly tear you down.
Wait, if that was the case...
Jory! Jory, we need to hurry back to land!
What's the matter?
When I met Orpheus, he was a merman, and if devils are sadistic...
Gah!
No! Orpheus, go away!
A pink blade burst through his chest. Time slowed whilst I watched the blood pour from his mouth. Below him rested Orpheus, his body half submerged. He had taken that form just to mess with me.
You have served Yeshua well, but I'm afraid you're not long for this world. The Reverend's forces are innumerable. Rest in peace.
Killed him?
Gah!
I hate you, Orpheus.
I could only watch the gentle giant I loved collapse. His warm blood stained the water surrounding us. I was too afraid to touch him. I could only pray that his body would move again. Jory? Jory, please wake up. We were doing so well. Come on, you have to...
He has left this world. Your cries are meaningless.
My tear-filled eyes narrowed. My horrified expression quickly shifted into one of rage. But Orpheus remained his same stoic self. Why? Why would you kill him? To get back at me? He may have changed the Reverend. That monster could finally be redeemed, and you go and kill the man that made it possible?
You're naive, Aurielle.
From his hand emerged 2 parchments from thin air. They had our names scrawled in black. Wanted, dead or alive. Crime, treason against Yeshua and the Holy Lands. Reward, any wish that the Reverend can fulfill. Threat level, they conspired with the archfiend Hecate. Come prepared.
The moment you left him, the Reverend immediately called for your heads. Everyone in those slums has been captured. They will most certainly be questioned, tortured, and killed. The search will not end until you are brought to justice. In the end, I didn't need to do anything to you. You sealed your own fate. My only regret was that Jory was caught in the middle. He didn't deserve to have this world destroyed.
You monster! Why do you care? You killed him!
I tried to warn you. Mother knows what's best. Had you only done as she asked, none of this would have happened. You should have known the Reverend wasn't the type to give up that easily. He's a coward, but he has an army at his side. Even if I cut him down myself, the damage has been done. It wouldn't erase any of your bounties, nor prove anyone's innocence.
No, that can't be.
I wish you would listen to me, Aurielle. I tried so hard to warn you. But I am not so heartless as to leave you like this.
With a snap of fingers, the red mana burst from my body. Suddenly, my body felt lighter. I felt no pain, but my legs wouldn't... My tail? Where did... No!
Swim away. Your role here is done.
No, wait! Orpheus, please, what about the children? They need me.
I shall handle everything. It'll be a lot more bloody than I'd prefer, but these things happen. You are their main target. As long as you aren't found, I can get the people to safety.
No, please, I don't want to go back. I'd rather...
You should have thought about that before you broke our deal. In the end, where did your rebellion get you? Alone. This is where we part. Farewell, Aurielle.
Orpheus! After a bright flash, the incubus vanished. All that remained was myself and Jory's dead body. No, why did it have to end like this? I cupped Jory's head in my arms. His expression was frozen in place. He didn't look like he was in pain, just afraid. To think, just moments ago, we had both been so happy. I'd finally gotten the life I had always wanted. There was nowhere for me to go now. I didn't belong on land or in the sea. Even the gods must have despised me. I was a fool. I really was cursed, making a pact with the devil, daring to think I belonged anywhere, and now causing the death of the man I loved. I was foolish to think I deserved any better fate. It was all so hopeless.
Really? That's such a sad ending, guys. Woo! Clap, clap. Credits. It was a wonderful game. I don't know then if I prefer, like, out of those two options, which I prefer. I don't know, because both of them, like, equally seem like stuff is happening. Though, I mean, I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen the other part, but more people live in the other choice, the other route. While here, it's a little. It doesn't seem. I mean, I suppose that Orpheus will be able to save the children, or at least some of those parents and things, so they'll be fine. But now Aurielle has to return to the ocean and relive her life, and like either has to like adapt to the new community or not, or find a new Meropian community, which is like, she'll be able to do it hopefully, but I don't know, like it's a kind of an ambiguous end, but it's very interesting. I do like the take on the Little Mermaid. It is, I mean, generally, as we saw, it's a lot darker and a lot more like there's a lot of political intrigue and a little bit more action as well. So I think it's a really interesting take on the fairy tale and incorporating aspects of the fairy tale into the story. And I really enjoyed it, so I'm glad that I got to play it and see how the story went and see all these lovely characters. And I can only wish the best for Aurielle and hope that she is able to adapt in whatever situation she ends up in. But yes, I hope you also liked the video. If you did, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more visual novel playthroughs. I am posting regularly 3 times a week, so there's always new content to be explored here on the channel. But yeah, I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye!